here in the home office, and you are listening to the Raiders Fan Radio Podcast, taking that lighter journey into the dark side with Murf, Swag Jeff, and Mike Garofalo, NFL Network here in the home office, and you are listening to the Raiders Fan Radio Podcast, taking that lighter journey into the dark side with Murf, Swag Jeff, and Michelle. She's got great hair. It's a little pink, it's a little purple, whatever it is. I'll tell you what, if I could grow it, I would sign up for that color today. So listen to her and the entire crew as they give you all the information on the Raiders on the podcast that benefits the One Nation Foundation. It's a great cause. It's a great pod. Tune in, turn it up. Here it comes. All that Raiders info and takes coming at you right now.
Jackpot, baby. Raiders Fan Radio.
Oakland, L.A., Oakland, Vegas, Raider Nation, wherever, forever. You got your old Uncle Mosh and Raiders Fan Radio from Murf's Man Cave, taking a lighter journey into the dark side. Sit back, put your feet up, pop a top, and enjoy the ride. Here we go!
Look left, select the top, a leaking top, touchdown!
We miss you, we love you, and we'll see you in the Hall of Fame.
When you have great coaches, then after you have great coaches, you get great players. You have a great organization, and you tell them one thing: just win, baby.
Way up the middle, intercepted Filipiano at the 50, time running down. Oakland football, and I think Oakland victory.
The Raiders have scored on the most zany, unbelievable, absolutely impossible dream of a play.
Well, I love this team. I think this team can win. I think this team can win.
You are listening live to Raiders Fan Radio. Take it away, guys.
Hey, I think we're live. What is up, Raider Nation? Your buddy Murf back once again for what we trust will be a fantastic episode of Raiders Fan Radio. Episode number 352 of Raiders Fan Radio, coming at you live from the dining room here at the new compound. So we appreciate all of those of you that are joining us live in the chat room tonight. I'll leave it to my best friend and yours to shout out you all in there. But thank you also very, very much for joining us live tonight. As I think we finally got the whole internet thing figured out. We finally got our setup figured out, at least temporarily here, so we can still keep bringing live shows until we get the new Fan Cave 2.0 set up. And again, thank you to all of those of you that are joining us live tonight at youtube.com/Raiders Fan Radio. Appreciate everybody that's on the X and the Facebooks, and of course the YouTube. And if you are on the X or the Facebook, don't be shy to jump over to the YouTube and jump in with the greatest chat room that there is, excuse me, there is in all of Raider Nation and all of sports if you ask us. Also, for those of you that want to join us audibly, if you want to get your oral fix, that's with an A, then let us pleasure your ear holes with the sounds of our dulcet tones. By checking into any of your favorite audio podcast services, much like Spotify, Pandora, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcast, or no, it's YouTube Music now.
Yeah,
like any of those, anywhere you can find a podcast. Amazon Music.
Where I listen to mine.
Is it?
It is. It is. I love some Amazon Music.
Yeah, you do. Yeah. Nice. So check us out on your internet-connected device. Just ask it to play Raiders Fan Radio. And again, you can check in with us here at Raiders Fan Radio as we talk about, not a ton tonight because we're coming out of the bye week, but there are certainly, no week is ever uninteresting when it comes to Raider Nation. So we've definitely got some off-week news to talk about. And then, of course, we've got the Dolphins game coming up. That's going to be interesting based on the announcements that Antonio Pierce made today. So we're going to get into that. What else we got over there, Jeff? We got on the rundown over there.
We're going to be talking about the player-only meeting.
Player-only meeting, that's right.
That took place, yep, absolutely. Some maybe potential future Raiders that we're going to be talking about. And yeah, we're going to hear from AP a bunch as well.
Absolutely. So we can't wait to get to that. So without further ado, let me go ahead and turn it over to the man that adorns the right side of the dining room table. He is my best friend and yours. He is Swag Jeff.
Style and then profile.
Ooh, man, I'm fired up to be here. I'm excited to be here. Been rested. The bye week was needed. We needed a good bye week, man, and so we're ready to get back into Raider football for sure. Ready to have some fun tonight. We're gonna be. Do we have a T's and P's tonight?
T's and P's?
Yeah. Do we have T's and P's tonight?
Sorta. We've got some P's. Flash the P's.
We've got some peas, we got some peppers that we got in Murf's garden that we don't know what they are. We're going to play a little Russian roulette and see if they're spicy or not.
Yeah, nice.
Just fire us up before the Raider game on Sunday.
Absolutely. So we're going to do that at the end of the show. We're going to, just in case one of us has a rough experience with it. There we go.
Absolutely. What if we don't do the show?
Heck no, we don't.
So over here to my right.
Time to class it up a little bit.
This side of the dining table. Please welcome in the lovely Michelle Swag.
Hi, Michelle.
Hey. It's really, because someone called it a big house and Martin called it a big house. It's so cool. I'm so excited to see what you guys do and how you put together the fan cave.
Thank you.
It's gonna be really exciting.
Thank you. It should be fun. Yeah, looking forward to the new fan cave.
Yeah.
That's going to be cool. We're going to have a properly built studio and pod box, and it's going to be great.
Yeah.
But Michelle, before we jump into to whatever that we do here at the top of the show, tell us about your week. We hadn't seen you. So but we actually, I'll tell you, let me set you up even better than that. Jeff was in here and we did a little bit of a rundown and we talked a little bit about the Cincinnati trip that you all had made, but I said I didn't really want to totally get into it until you were here because you and Devin, of course, and Jeff made the trip. So give us just some early thoughts about how that trip went, the experience with Raider Nation and hanging out with Stu and Graf and everything, all that.
Usual. Raider Nation won and the Raiders did not. So like every time, I feel like that seems to be the way that things are going. So, but it was incredible. It was really cool. Meeting Stu is like so cool to be able to meet him and have conversations with him and about the Raiders and what we do here and those kind of things. So, and that was my first time meeting Graf too. I'd never met him before either. Only on the internets. But, and of course, Devin got to see another loss, so sad for him.
That poor guy, man.
But we realized, or I can't remember if you said it or that we think he's maybe a good luck charm because he got Luke Getsy fired. So
let's go.
Was the catalyst for Luke Getsy getting. But it was cool, and obviously meeting Ron, and got to see Ramon, and it was just really it was a cool experience. But of course, the Raiders shit the beds. Other than that, it was
outside of that, it was a good trip. It was a good trip.
They're
good
saying
deal.
my mic is all wonky.
Oh no. Well, let's see. Well, I don't check it. Talk.
Yep. Check. Let me flip my mic around.
Yeah, flip your mic around, Jeff. What's the matter with you? I don't know. I don't know.
We'll see if that sounds better.
It said Michelle's coming in low, and we got a whole wide array of things going on over here. It's funny because we test everything last night, and then here we get up and running today.
Yeah.
And we troubleshot this thing and tried to get it up and running here before we started. But we're just going to do the best we can with it, Raider Nation. So yeah, keep us posted. Keep letting us know in there because despite some of our best efforts to bring you the best audio and video quality, sometimes crap happens because there's technology at play.
Absolutely. Well, here, let me test my mic and tell Raider Nation who's in the chat room tonight. So Chuck Raider is in the building. Martin, Sacktown Raider Mike. QB Jeff is in the mix tonight. Leo, Jordan Ford, Elon Bush, Gianluca Morelli, Hooligan Nation, Ron the Mater Raider, Rogue Code, Uncle Mosh is in the building tonight.
What's up, Uncle Mosh?
Yeah, for sure. Let's see who else is in there. Tony Shefford is in there. Vibrator is in the building. Hey, Alfred Esparza is in the building. We got the whole crew, man. So much respect.
Keep talking, Jeff.
So Uncle Mosh said when I leaned back, it got wonky. So let me just try to lean forward right here for you, Uncle Mosh.
Yeah, you sound good now.
Yeah, I sound good now.
Sounding good to me.
Good.
So, yeah.
So much respect. So Michelle, I was going to get you to test your mic, so we'll talk about something.
You mean shout out the chat?
Sure, do it again.
Or maybe is there?
I'm leaving. No, I'm just kidding.
Or maybe what is the chat saying in there? Let's talk about that.
How about me? Do I sound better, chat? Listen, I'm not as good as these guys with just, rattling off shit out of their mouths, so I can't do that as well. How am I sounding?
They said sounds better for swag now, so we should be good to go.
I flipped mine too because they said I was coming in low, so I flipped it around.
Okay.
And maybe.
There you go.
Yep,
Jordan Ford said, "We'll just let you know when it gets worse."
Okay, that's perfect. Let's go and roll on with this episode.
There you go.
Number 352 of Raiders Fan Radio. So here at the top of the show, we always take our episode number and tie it back to something significant within Raider Nation, and this is episode number 352. And so that honor and duty goes to my best friend and yours, Swag Jeff. So Swag, what do we have tonight for episode 352?
Absolutely. So episode 352, where it's a couple of career numbers.
We love a good career number.
We love career numbers around here, man. And we're going to be highlighting one of our favorite number 12s to ever do it.
Ooh, Kenny?
Nah, not Kenny.
Well, Rich.
Rich, of course, man.
Yeah, there's only two 12s.
So, and we're going to be highlighting. yeah, absolutely. So we're going to be.
Well, there's a third, but he's hurt.
Yeah.
And he's got a long
I thought you were talking about Martavius Bryant.
Yeah, I am too. Yeah, I was talking about Jacoby Ford.
Oh, there you go. There you go. We're going to be highlighting two dates: October 24th, 1999, in a 24-23 victory over the Jets, and then Monday, November 11th, 2002, in a 34-10 blowout win over the Broncos. Rich Gannon, both of those days, threw for 352 yards.
Nice. Did you hear? Gannon had some comments this week. I didn't
hear him.
I didn't have those. He had some pretty inflammatory comments about the Raiders and just kind of the whole direction of the coaching staff and all that.
Oh no.
So let's go ahead and use that. Let's go ahead and play some contact info.
Yeah.
And then we'll go ahead and kick it off. I don't have Rich's comments again, but the subject matter is one and the same based on some of the reports that have come out of the locker room and out of the meeting rooms this week with the Raiders. So Jeff, go ahead and hit some contact info, and we'll jump into it.
Woo! Hey, Raider Nation! You got your old Uncle Mosh here with an updated contact info. So sit up, zip up, shut up, and pay attention. You can call us at 909-345-3346, or as Murf would say it, 909-345-3346. How about emailing me? You want to email me? Email me at show@RaidersFanRadio.com. Or what about reaching out to us on some of that social media stuff Swaggy likes? Try Facebook at Raiders Fan Radio Podcast, the Twit at Twitter at Raiders Fan Radio, Insta something, Instagram at Raiders Fan Radio, the tiki-tiki-tock-tock, TikTok at Raiders Fan Radio. Or what about the Twitch? Some of you out there twitching. Anyway, Twitch at Raiders Fan Radio. Or if you don't like that, go to the YouTube. America, go to the YouTube. YouTube.com/Raiders Fan Radio. Oh my God, if that wasn't enough, go to your podcast provider and search Raiders Fan Radio. Holy crap, that was a lot.
I got you.
Good.
Hey, not bad. Not bad for no one being able to hear.
Oh my gosh, that was a visual.
Vibes, yeah.
No, we were on a silent count. We were on a silent
snap
count.
Yep,
That's
there you go.
That's it.
There you go.
I had to be like Peyton Manning and just be out here and then just.
There you go.
All right, but I appreciate you, Raider Nation. Thanks for jumping in with us for episode number 352. So here at the top of the show, we're going to talk about some of the dysfunction. Unfortunately, we are still in the dysfunction bucket when it comes to our Raiders. It's let's go with this.
Okay.
All right. It is unbelievable to me that we are still at the point, guys, where we have disruption going on with our team. If you'd have told me, and I'm not even going to, I'll play the clip here in a minute, but let's just start off. Everybody knows the story. No one tunes into Raiders Fan Radio for breaking news. You guys know the news that came out about the meetings that took place. I'm not even going to play the clip. Let's just talk about it. There was a report that came across on CBS Sports, and it was reported, and Amy Trask was there to comment on it. And basically the gist of it was that there were supposed inefficiencies around the Raiders team in terms of function and deficiency in terms of quality of staff, okay? And we've heard some of the reports about people collecting paychecks and all those kinds of things. But to be at this point now, y'all, where we are this deep into the season, and these things to me, here's what was what I think is so indicting of the lack of success, or I hate to call it failure, but flat out it is. It's a failure of this coaching staff, is that these are controllables. You know, having an efficient practice schedule, training regimen, time in the facility, time with the staff, meetings, all those kinds of, those are 100% controllable. Those would have been the absolute furthest things that I would have anticipated having be a struggle for Antonio Pierce because of a couple of things. We celebrated his leadership at the end of last year and in this offseason. Strong leaders are what? Organized, right? They're very focused. Like, you know what the plan is, and it's going to execute the plan, and then you hope that your constituents can act out, said plan. So that for that not to be a thing, and for that not to be part of Antonio Pierce's experience as a head coach, is mind-boggling to me. I never would have thought. Like I've said on this microphone numerous times now, I was embarrassed by the amount of buy-in that I had. I never would have thought that would have been the thing. Now, inexperience and showing some, showing your inexperience on the field in terms of game management, when you're calling some plays, when we're going for it, when we're kicking field goals, like those types of things I would have expected out of a, again, inexperienced head coach. But the in the facility stuff doesn't make sense to me. And then you couple that with the idea, or compound that with the idea, that you have guys like Joe Philbin and Marvin Lewis and Rob Ryan, and these like super seasoned NFL guys that have been doing this for near a lifetime. For where is the like that doesn't make any sense to me at all. And then the third component of this is you had players that advocated for this coach and for this staff, okay? And what are they telling you? And you have the most prominent figure in the locker room and on the team is Max Crosby. What is he telling you is that he's not pleased with the scheduling, because I'm taking this as that like AP is still a player and he's not a coach. He's not a player's coach. He's just a player. And he's kind of letting the guys seemingly, the inmates run the asylum. And when you have that, you don't have those efficiencies to where when you have a coach that's going to come in and go, this is what we're going to do, here's when we're going to do it, versus, hey, I'll just do your thing and I'll see you out there on the field. Here we are in this bye week and they've taken a week off. No. This team is 2-6. We got a new coordinator and they're just, y'all take a week off, go spend it with the family. Well, I can appreciate that. If those other things aren't in place, then those are the things that just absolutely, Jeff, I'm even having trouble finding words to frame it because it doesn't make sense to me. I guess the bottom line is this. These were the things that I didn't expect from this coach because those are controllables. And then you add that in with the freaking lack of success on the field. And it's just a disaster. And the last thing I'll say is this. I don't think AP sees year 2. I think it's over. I think this thing is going to be over because again, if you can't take care of the shit that you have control over, then what's the point of having them there? I don't get it. I want to shut up but it's crazy to me, Jeff. I never thought we'd be in this spot. I mean, we pounded the table. I still love Antonio Pierce as a persona.
Yeah.
But the function as a head coach, bro, it's awful. It's just awful. And it doesn't get any better anytime soon. I don't see it.
Yeah, it's not show friends, it's show business. And he's playing show friends in the building, man. He's not really doing a whole lot to be the leader, the accountable guy, the guy to hold people accountable. But I feel like with these player meetings and stuff like that, I feel like this has kind of become a broken record. Like, I feel like this isn't the first time that we've heard that the players have had this.
It's like the third one.
It's like the third one of the season. So I feel like the writing is totally on the wall. I totally agree with you that I don't see Antonio Pierce seeing season 2. The writing is totally on the wall, and now, oh yeah, we've added a guy, the greatest quarterback of all time, Sir Thomas Brady, into the building. He's not going to put up with subpar bullshit.
Hell
you know
no.
what I mean? He's going to get hit. He knows what it takes to be a coach, or a player's coach, or any of these kinds of things. So, if Antonio Pierce isn't going to step up post-bye week and just go on this massive winning streak and see this complete turnaround, which I don't think is going to happen because we still got Gardner Minshew under center and we've still got
we're going to get to that too.
We're going to get to all that kind of stuff. But, I guess my point of what I'm saying is that this broken record of player meeting after player meeting, how many more player meetings we got? I mean, it's over.
And the first one was week 2.
Yeah.
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 That's the thing that I don't think there's a question that he should not see year 2. For it to be this bananas, and if there had been some improvement in certain areas, then I could see him, maybe getting some level of leash. But to have, and he has people that are supposed to be helping him do all these things that he clearly has trouble doing. What the hell are they doing?
Right.
Why aren't they saying, hey, maybe don't be their friend, be their parent, this was a horrible experiment that we all fell for because I believed that he was going, because you can only go by what someone tells you. He told us that whatever happened at the end of last season was going to carry over into this season, and they were going to improve, and they were going to make a run for. He talked such a good game, and has literally shit the bed so terribly. Obviously, I don't think he should be fired this season because what the hell?
What's the point of doing it now? Yeah,
run it out. Get you a quarterback. And I know I'm hearing everybody's like, oh, there's not even a quarterback worth getting in the first round or whatever. Who can't be worse than what we have?
Yeah, that's true.
That's very true.
Get a new coach in there that has some experience coaching, and let's freaking try again. Because this was the worst experiment for everybody.
Yeah, 100%. Well, you've got these guys in the building, like you said. You've got Marv Lewis and Phil and Joe Philbin, and you've got Rob Ryan and all these. But I feel like just like the players that aren't getting held accountable for things, he's not holding his staff accountable for anything either. It's just like it almost
very laissez-faire.
It almost just feels like he's just brought in his buddies to come and hang out.
And they're all old.
And they're all old
shout out
guys.
old people, man. I'm borderline one, but that whole idea that and Scott and Mo were talking about this on Silver and Black Today the other day. It's not even like they brought in a bunch of fresh faces and he was like, yeah, y'all go do your newfangled thing that you kids do with your football teams. Or whatever. You brought a bunch of old dudes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's and that again, so I go back to how many practices has Marvin Lewis run in his life? Probably thousands. How long was he coach of the Bengals? 15 years or whatever?
Something like that.
The man has coached his ass off in the NFL. And so where is that influence? Where?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you can, and people can, comment on Marvin Lewis's, production in the postseason and all that kind of. I'm not talking about his win-loss record. I'm talking about his function as an NFL head coach.
Yeah, experience.
He was highly functional as an NFL head coach in terms of running the show. You know what I'm saying? So where is it? How can we be so devoid of that with someone like that in the building? So then it does lead to, well, then what is he here for?
Yeah.
What's the point? Controllables. If you can't run a practice efficient enough to where the players feel like they're getting the work they need to get. And listen here's the other thing about this. There's so many things that are indicting about this. In the modern day NFL, this isn't 1976. This ain't Madden out there running a practice and Freddie talking about, doing 2-a-days, morning practice, afternoon practice, and then going out and throwing and catching with Kenny for another 2 hours after practice and all this kind of.
Right.
That's not the current climate of the NFL is these guys get very little work compared to those days. So there isn't even a ton of volume of work to schedule out, and I'm not saying like, I'm not sitting here trying to say that like there isn't work, because it is. There is a lot to running a football team. But from a player's perspective, for them to feel like they're not getting enough work in a current NFL where they don't get as much work nearly as they used to anyways, Michelle, that to me, like that just screams of like, what the, plug your ears, earmuffs out there. What the fuck are they doing?
Literally.
What are they doing?
Yeah, it makes you wonder, are they trying to tell him, hey, you need to do that? And he's just not listening because he thinks that his way, who knows exactly what's going on in those meetings? Because there's no way that these coaches who have done it for so long aren't noticing what's happening. They have to be saying something to him, and he's just not here. He's just like, listen, I got this. And clearly he doesn't, because good Lord, the record shows that on the field, on the grass, you look like shit.
Right.
So start listening to the people that you've brought in to tell you.
If they and are they allowed to have a voice?
Well,
and that's
yeah.
what I'm saying. Like, does Marvin Lewis have enough? Like you would think, because of his, again, time in the NFL and his tenure and his being the seasoned coach that he is. He should have a voice to AP. And again, and so then again, I go back, and this is why this is all so confusing. If I am Antonio Pierce and I bring in Marvin Lewis and he does give me input and I don't take it, well then what was the goddamn point of bringing the guy in to begin with? Like this is what's so confusing to me. And ultimately, like, Jeff, I don't care, frankly, how you decide to structure your organization. And listen, AP is a CEO head coach. He's a defensive guy. He doesn't call an offense. He lacked that game management and that in-game experience. So this was a guy that was going to come in, and this is where, again, my brain, as a leader, based on the evidence that we got at the end of last year and everything that happened in the offseason, as a leader, you thought, okay, that's what he's going to do. He's going to basically be the voice and the vision for the Raiders. And then he'll have all these constituents underneath him to execute said plan and vision. That's the way that I felt that it was going to go.
Right.
But now we have gone completely away from that. And there's not a way for me to add it up to where it makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then I meant to say this. And then the play on the field is highly reflective of that. Because it's one thing to have the players go, we're deficient, we're inefficient, and things are unorganized, and yada, yada. But then you watch the game, and then we're a mess. And I'm not saying that there aren't some players, if not most all of them, giving maximum effort. This is not me calling out or is an indictment of some of the effort and energies out there. But if you don't know what you're doing, if you know what I'm saying, then you can go full speed and it doesn't matter. Because if you're not set up for success, then a lot of times your actions won't matter because you're so dependent on the rest of the team.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Well, you look at the decades and decades and decades of experience that is in this building, in this coaching staff and all this stuff, and you look back, you go back to week 1, and you look at now. How much worse are we now than what we were at the start of the season? Which you would think that with all the experience that we have in this building and all the, great football minds that we've got in this building to help Antonio Pierce, you would think that you would see a little bit of improvement throughout the course of the season. You even look at a guy like Gardner Minshew, that, week 1 and 2 and 3, we're looking at that and going, he's kind of just so, whatever. But you looked and he was at the top of the charts in like all the major statistical quarterback categories, in efficiency, in completion percentage, in all this stuff. Even like yards per attempt and all this stuff. We were like, oh my gosh, this is pretty solid. And
he had better yards per attempt than like Josh Allen and shit.
Yeah, it was unbelievable, man. And now you look at Gardner Minshew now, you see this decline of everybody. And I'm talking, and I will talk about everybody. Everybody has declined. I'm even talking about Max Crosby. He has declined this year. We started the season with 5 sacks, and where's he at? He's still sitting at that number. He has had bad games, dude, something's got to change here, man. Antonio Pierce will not see season 2.
No.
Marvin Lewis, all these guys, it's done. It's done.
It feels like they were supposed to be like training wheels, and Antonio Pierce.
Yes, that's a great
They were bumpers in the bowling alley, man.
Yeah,
That's a
like,
great
and
analogy.
now we're gonna take our hands off and you got this. You ride the fucking bike. Oh, sorry, ride the bike. Like, and he just fell over like friggin'.
Yeah.
He didn't have legs or something. Like, I don't know. Just it's so frustrating because they weren't supposed to just be there like doing everything. They were supposed to give him the advice he needed, get him where he needed to go, and then let him run. And he can't, so they can't keep him. They cannot. Don't put me through another season of this, please.
Absolutely not. And and I heard this a long time ago, and it's true for more than just football. But when it comes to regression, whether that's the regression of an organization, which outside of financially, and the business side of the Raiders is great. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But in terms of the health of the organization on the field, in the locker room, in the facilities, it's regressed. All three areas have regressed from where we were last year. Well, that's an indictment of the people that are responsible. And so, I'm with you all that I think it's time to and I think this is what you're getting at and where my heart's at and probably a lot of people in the chat room too. I know we don't like the coaching carousel, and I know we are afraid of turnover, and I know because as Raider fans, I'm not making light of the term, but we have PTSD when it comes from moving on to coaches and bringing in new coaches. But I think that we are at a juncture now with this team. We're going to bring in a franchise quarterback. Well, even like what Michelle said, and this will take us into the next topic here. Like Michelle said, like this quarterback class is weak as shit compared to the last one. That said, if you have an opportunity to draft one of the top quarterbacks, you got to do it. You got to swing until you find a guy. And like Michelle said, it can't get any worse than what it is now. So being that we're in a transitional state for the Raiders in terms of quarterback, which is going to be the first time we've drafted a high-level quarterback or a high-round quarterback anyway since Derek Carr, and have frankly done that very rarely throughout the history of this organization, other than maybe Kenny Stabler for crying out loud. I know we did with Jamarcus, but it didn't work out, whatever. I get it, but there are a handful of times we've done that with this organization. This is going to be one of them. It certainly should. Some people are of the opinion that you just take like a player like Ashton, was it Genty, right? Yeah. At high in the round and then maybe make a move for another veteran. That's a fair thought process, but I think that no matter what, you got to swing. So anyways, that said, we're at a transitional time when it comes to quarterback. Why not be at another transitional time when it comes to coaching staff? Because here's the thing, like
you got to have the same mentality.
Well, and if we're going to have this coaching staff, you trust this coaching staff to coach up a Shedeur Sanders or a Cam Ward?
No.
Who in the building right now? Who's the quarterback coach that's going to coach these guys? No. I'm really leaning into the idea, and I can't believe we're sitting here talking about moving on from AP already, but it's the world we're in. Ben Johnson's the topic of the day and the big name that gets thrown out there.
Yeah.
But I think that there is something to be said unless you find a guy like a John Harbaugh or like what even DeMeco Ryans is doing now as a young head coach in Houston. The offensive coaches don't have to worry about finding new coordinators to cycle in. And as much as we're a fan of Vrabes, like we love Mike Vrabel. Mike Vrabel's a great head coach.
Yeah.
He's got to cycle in OCs because if you have an offensive coordinator comes in, they have success. Guess what? They move on and become the head coach of the Falcons, right? Like that's just the way that it's going to go. Matt LaFleur going to go on and be the head coach of the Packers. So when your coordinator has success, then you got to find someone to replace him. But when you're Mike McCarthy, and I know their Cowboys are down this year, but whatever. But again, I'll go with Matt LaFleur. If you're Sean McVay, if you're Andy Reid, right?
Right.
Yeah.
You're not going anywhere. You're the head coach.
Guy.
You're calling the plays. You're the guy. It's what we had with Gruden. Didn't work out, but it's what we had with McDaniels. But I'm really starting to lean into this idea of taking an offensive coordinator and elevating them up to be the head coach if they'll have the job. And I think that there's a world where Ben Johnson could look at the Raiders and say, okay, this is a team that's going to have a fresh start. I'm going to get a high-level draft pick. I can get my franchise quarterback. And then move on from there.
Yep.
Also, too, with that, you brought up Brady. A lot of Raider Nation doesn't like Tom Brady, but he's the GOAT, man. And he's going to have a certain level of influence over Mark Davis. And I think that, again, transitional time. You're bringing in new ownership. And not even just Tom Brady. It's Richard Seymour is now in as part owner, a minority owner. But he's still in the building, man. He's still got a part in all this. So I think that Mark Davis, knowing that he doesn't do well with football decisions. That's his admission. That's not my words.
Right.
That's his admission. He doesn't want to be the football guy. He wants to turn it over. And what better than to turn it over to your fellow owners? Again, minority partners when it comes to Tom Brady and Richard Seymour and the other folks that are involved. But turn that over to them. Let them make the call on this. Let them, at a minimum, y'all, make the hiring for the head coach. Because we don't want Tom Telesco making the choice for us. Remember, Tom Telesco hired Brandon Staley, for crying out loud. How'd that work out, right?
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? So, anyways, all that said, I hate to be sitting here and calling for a guy's job, and I never would. And I in my silver and black heart, I hope that the Raiders run the table. That's what I would rather have happen. I'd rather
This season?
Hell yeah. I'd rather us run the table. It's not going to happen. Never going to happen.
Yeah,
but that's what I would rather see happen. This is not me sitting here cheering for someone's demise. Like, that's not what this is. But it's a meritocracy at the end of the day. And if AP isn't the guy, then damn it, he's not the guy. He was to us 6 months ago, but he isn't now. You know, and there ain't no more videos you can put out in the offseason that are going to change my mind. And so if they don't make a change, that's where I was going to go earlier with this. Is that, and then let's go around the table one last time and then move on and get in the next subject. But if they don't move on from, I don't even want to just say AP, but this staff and just the energy and what this is all about, I'm not excited for next year. And I'm Mr. Optimistic and Mr. Buy-in and Mr. looking for the silver and black lining and I'll always find something positive. I will have a very, very, very hard time finding positivity heading into next year if we finish this thing out, win 4 games, and retain this exact staff that we have now.
Did you ever think that this was going to happen?
Not in a million.
Not in a million years.
I would have bet my mortgage. I put out an X post earlier this week saying that. They're like, I would have bet my mortgage on it. I can't tell. I'm like, I was so highly convicted around the potential for what this football team was going to be this year. I mean, I bet him to win more than 9 games.
Right.
Right. You know what I'm saying? 100%. I bet him to finish second in the AFC West. I bet on Max Crosby to be Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah.
And I literally put my money where my mouth was. And this just goes to show you, I'm just a dopey fan and a podcaster in my dining room with my 2 best friends talking about my favorite football team.
Yep.
But Vegas had him at 6 wins, and I was like, are you crazy?
You looked at the power rankings at the beginning of the year. I got someone tweeted me yesterday that bookmarked my post when I said 29th. You have the Raiders at 29th in power rankings. You've lost your damn mind.
It was absurd to us.
It was too high. It was too high. We've regressed so badly that I don't know if we're going to win another game, pal. I really don't know if we're going to win another game.
We got the Saints or the Jaguars.
Maybe.
Yeah, what's sad is it's my faith that they can win either one of those games is so damn low. It's so low because how many games should they have won already this season and didn't? I don't see. I have never, and I've been through a lot of Raiders seasons. You've
been through 2-14.
Yes, yeah. I have never had so little faith in the staff. You won't call for his job. I will.
Come on.
If you're at your jobs, if you guys aren't keeping up whatever you're supposed to be keeping up and doing the job you're supposed to do, you're going to get canned. If you can't do the job with 55 fucking people helping you, if you can't do that, you don't need to be in the building. I don't care if you grew up a Raiders fan. I don't care if you grew up in Compton. I don't care.
I don't care if you drive an Impala.
I don't care if you drive and wear black Air Force Ones. That doesn't mean shit if you can't win games. And if the team is having meetings continuously, you are not the guy for the job. Period.
The last time, go the last time that the last season we had a players only meeting, Josh McDaniels got fired right afterwards.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We've had 3 this year. What are we doing? Why wasn't Antonio Pierce fired at the bye week?
Dude,
bro, what? What are we doing here? What are we doing here? So
that's so funny.
Yeah, man, for real, real though.
If anything, I gotta applaud his what's the word I'm looking for? His constitution. Josh McDaniels didn't live one players only meeting.
Nope.
The AP's getting ready to survive 3.
Yeah.
Oh, my
100%,
gosh.
100%. But we've always say around here, swing on a quarterback till you hit. You keep swinging, keep swinging, keep swinging. The same thing can be said now about the coaches. I know people don't like the coaching carousel. I know all that kind of stuff. And I'm with you. I don't like a coaching carousel either. But swing until you get one. I feel like that's what a lot of other teams do that. Everyone has a coaching carousel until they don't. So find our guy. If Ben Johnson's our guy, do whatever we need to do to get that guy. Yeah. So, yeah, that's all I got to say.
All right, good, because your camera just died.
Oh,
good.
No. Oh, do you need to scoot over and get it? We need to make some shots.
What's up, Raider Nation? It's your boy, Will Compton. You're listening to Raiders Fan Radio with my boys Murf, Swaggy Jeff, and Uncle Mosh. Tune in because they fucking put out a banger podcast.
Shout out to the boy for you, baby.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody enjoyed a good Donnybrook more than 6th-year linebacker Phil Villapiano.
This is Phil Villapiano, and you're listening to Raiders Fan Radio.
Hi, this is AJ Cole from the Las Vegas Raiders, and you're listening to Murf, Mosh, and Swag Jeff on Raiders Fan Radio. Just win, baby.
Las Vegas, a city without a pro football team, in a world gone mad. What can we do about it? Acquire the most desired franchise in sports history? Sin City, lost wages, home of the Elvis weddings, and 24-hour debauchery. But finally, a match made in heaven. The Oakland Raiders have landed in the desert with the Death Star as their home. And to celebrate beyond your imagination has come 3 individuals hosting the most irreverent show while paying homage to the storied history of this franchise. Raiders Fan Radio with Murf, Swaggy J, and Michelle, taking a lighter side journey into the dark side.
Patrick Claybon with NFL Network here. Hey folks, I know 3 things you might like. Do you like football? Do you like the Las Vegas Raiders? Do you like listening to things? I'll add a 4th. Do you like swag? Well, here we got Swag Jeff, Murf, Uncle Mosh. This is Raiders Fan Radio.
All right, Jeff, before we get to Underdog, before we get to the next topic here tonight at Raiders Fan Radio, you've got an ad read for us, pal.
Absolutely, man.
And be emphatic.
Emphatic? Is that what they told us to do?
No, well, they didn't tell you that. I'm telling you that because we got called out for lack of participation on this thing.
Oh, Raider Nation, we need you. We need you bad. We need you bad because our good friends at Underdog Fantasy is the place to be on when it comes to all your sports fan needs, all that stuff. So what is Underdog? Underdog is the place to play if you're a sports fan looking to win money while watching sports. With over 5 million happy customers and $2 billion won, Underdog makes it fun and easy to cash in on all your favorite athletes' performances. Compete against other players just by selecting higher or lower on 2 or more player stats, and you could win up to 1,000 times your money. So every touchdown can turn into a win with Underdog Fantasy. So if you think that Jacoby Myers is going to rack up more than 1 receiving touchdown this week, if you think that Gardner Minshew is going to throw lower than I don't know, $1.25 yards, then you can definitely put some entries in for that for a shot to win real cash prizes all football season long. Underdog is the best place to cash in on all your takes this football season. So which players are going off, which ones are going ice cold? Make your picks in just a few taps, and you can turn your sports opinions into real money. So they have vulture protection. Now, vulture protection, if you select a designated running back to score a touchdown on your pick'em entry and they get vultured, they will rescue your entry right there. They also have red zone rush. So a game that you won't find anywhere else. Just pick whether or not a player is going to score a touchdown by swiping right or yes. It's just like some of those dating apps, maybe. Just swipe yes or no right there. It's as simple as that. Plus, your entry will automatically be boosted, and you'll get a 51% profit boost when you play. So, Murf, you play Underdog Fantasy a lot. So, tell us a little bit about your experience, pal.
Yeah, I like to bet I like to place the higher for yards. So typically, I will look for quarterbacks like Josh Allen to go higher on yards. Joe Burrow is a good one. And I also like to do Jamar Chase higher on yards.
Oh, yeah.
And then also one that just hit this last week, bet higher on touchdowns for players like James Cook and Jamar Chase as well.
Hey, there you go. Absolutely. So if you download the app today, download the Underdog Fantasy app and use promo code MURF, that is MURF, to get up to $1,000 in bonus cash instantly. That is promo code MURF. Get up to $1,000 of bonus cash instantly. Must be 18 years or older, 19 years or older in Alabama, Nebraska, 19 years or older in Colorado for some games, 21 years or older in Massachusetts and Arizona, and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Void in Colorado. Concerned with your play, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org. In Arizona, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT STEP to 53342. In New York, call the 24/7 Hope line. That is 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY to 467-369. So use promo code MURF, and Raider Nation, we need you. The One Nation Foundation needs you. So sign up Underdog Fantasy. You will not regret it.
Give it up for Swag Jeff.
Hey, Raider Nation, this is Max Crosby from the Oakland Raiders.
And goes down, and Max Crosby, who forced a fumble last week.
You're listening to Murf, Mosh, and Swag Jeff on Raiders Fan Radio. Thank you so much. Just win, baby.
All right, so we had a super chat from Sacktown Raider Mike, a $10 super chat. And
Thank you, Sacktown Raider Mike.
Thank you.
I've been a Raider fan since the late 60s, 17 years in the black hole. For 17 years, I will never give up on the Raiders. I just can't do it. Raiders!
Hey, Raiders!
Thank you.
Oh, thank you very much, Sacktown Mike. Appreciate that, my man. And all right, next up, let's go ahead and get into our next topic here. Let's see if I bring this up. Okay, so we talked about AP. Now we're going to hit this one here. This is interesting. So as it just waiting. Okay, so Jeff and I, when we got together for the rundown this last week, Jeff and I, and hopefully this will come through and you guys can hear it. Jeff and I talked about the idea of Shedeur Sanders coming to the Raiders. We talked about the idea that his dad might be involved in that idea of him coming to the Raiders, or at least calling their shot to what organization Shedeur might go play in. And then you said, so you don't think that that he would just come alone? And I said, no. I said, I think Deion might be done at Colorado. And I didn't necessarily mean, some people took that as that I was advocating for Deion to be the next head coach of the Raiders. That's not where I was going with it. But I was thinking that he's been so heavily invested in not only his players, but especially his kids' trajectory of their careers. And you're talking about his now with Shedeur can be a potentially not potentially top 5 pick. He's going to be a top 5, maybe a top 3, could even be a top, could be the first overall taken player in this year's draft. So would his dad then move on from Colorado to be invested into that portion of his son's life? So I don't know if that's going to happen or not, but there is some very interesting comments that came out again this week from Deion. So let's check in. And this panel here on ESPN is asking him about where he would want to see Shedeur play next year.
Prime, he's probably going to be 1 or 2 top quarterback off the board if they know anything, right? And that organization may be 1, 2, 3, 4. Will you step in Eli Manning like, Deion Sanders like, to the point where, like, you told him, hey, man, I ain't taking that psych test with the Giants. I followed you after that. I said I wasn't taking it either. Will you step in and do some of that if it's the wrong organization and say he ain't going there?
Yeah, but I'm not going to do it publicly. I'll do it privately.
Yeah. Okay.
So you said you're going to be dad. You're going to be dad. You're going to be dad.
Oh, Dad, cows come home. Yes, sir. And with Travis as well.
Oh, yeah. I keep forgetting that's your other son.
That's your other son.
But give us a little bit more insight on where you would like to. You don't even have to name teams. You can just give me region, style, whatever, that Shedeur needs or you want to see him go and play for? You don't have to give me teams, just give me regions.
I'm not going to give you regions, I give you understanding.
Give me understanding.
Somebody that can handle the quarterback that he is, somebody that can handle understanding that what he's capable of, someone that has had success in the past handling quarterbacks, or someone in an organization understands what they're doing, not just throwing you out there amongst the wolves. You don't have the support in the infrastructure of the team. Forget the line. He's played with lines that hadn't been great, but he's been able to do his thing. But just the infrastructure of the team and the direction of where we're going. He could deal with anything. One thing about Shedeur that separates him from a lot of quarterbacks, Shedeur started every game in high school, every game in college, but one. And he's just, he is like that, man. Like, he has a true gift. And it comes from God, and he loves this game of football. You see him stunning like his daddy every now and then, but that's just who he is. He got that honest. You got to see that. He got that honest. But this kid loves this game, and he has an insatiable appetite to win. And I want somebody to be able to propel him to the next level as well. You know, not just getting drafted by a team, because we ain't having it.
All right, so there's a lot to unpack there, and I think that what's interesting to me is that I hear Tom Brady all over that.
Yes, that was immediately what I thought too.
And we already know that Shedeur has a relationship with Tom Brady that exists and is already there. So that just to me, when Deion says someone who knows it, someone who knows, you know what I mean? He's not talking. That's not a coaching perspective. That's from a player's perspective. And we did get some feedback in the chat room talking about wouldn't hating having Deion as a head coach. And I would say this, that if that is on the table of any form or fashion, I think at this point he'd be more qualified for it than Antonio Pierce was. Yeah. You know what I mean? And because as much as Deion is very much a player still, but he's a player's coach. He's still, and that's the thing that I do like about Deion. We talked about this, Michelle, when we did the rundown, that Deion is all about accountability. Yeah. And that's exactly what we've heard is void in the current form of the Raiders coaching staff, is that accountability. And which leads to the inefficiencies and all that stuff. So I think Deion would have a way higher level. Now, how does that translate to the pros? I don't know. I think there's a lot more questions in there, but keeping this about Shedeur and keeping this about Deion's involvement, that idea that he would step in, and the idea, and we kind of talked to you about this, so I'm going to go Michelle first. The idea that he would step in a way that this is not Eli and Archie Manning or Jack and John Elway. This is a different scenario. Those dads got involved because they didn't want their kids going to unsuccessful organizations and that was going to set them up for failure. Deion's mindset and Shedeur's mindset is get him to somewhere where he can elevate everybody around him, and he'll be taken good care of because there's somebody like Tom Brady in the building that knows it better than anyone. So I think that this, not only is this dynamic different, I think that, again, if we're talking about fresh starts, I think Deion and Shedeur, again, because this isn't just daddy making the calls here, I think that this would be a really good fit. Now, we can have a whole nother conversation about Shedeur as a player. I think that he's, to me, a little undervalued because I look at what he's done in Colorado, and this ain't Ohio State, right? This ain't Georgia. It's not like he's playing with a bunch of studs around him. They got a little bit better on the offensive line, and now you can see what he can do with a little bit of protection. So I think that there can be a fair conversation around his playing ability, but in terms of situation, to me, it feels like this is peanut butter and jelly. Like, this might be a great fit for everybody.
Yeah, I think it's interesting because a lot of people in the chat, after they heard it, they were like, well, I guess we're not drafting. I guess we're not going to get him. So I feel like you could hear that two different ways. You could hear it and think about Tom Brady, or you could hear it and think about the current staff that's there and think there's no way in hell that Deion Sanders would let his kid go to there. But when you factor in Tom Brady, which I think is going to be the biggest factor when it comes to the quarterback that's brought in and the staff that's brought in to help support that quarterback, I think that, and I hope it's not just me being hopeful, but that's just makes sense. And for a lot of people are like, oh, well, I don't want Deion Sanders coming with his son. Listen, if you had the chance to set your kid up in the situation that you would want him to be in, you would do it too. So I don't see
100%.
anything wrong with him facilitating that sort of like setup.
And the
I think
NFL is
that's great.
loaded with nepotism, by the way.
Please, yes, right,
It's been like that since, going back to the Ryans.
Absolutely.
And this has been going on for a long time. So it's like, it's not like, it's a new, or this is a Dion thing or whatever.
Exactly.
It's been happening in the NFL forever. So I don't buy that argument about like, this ain't daddy ball.
Right,
This is different.
right.
Some people brought up about like, it's speaking of ball, the LeVar Ball situation. That's not what this is. LeVar Ball's a chump.
Yeah.
Deion Sanders is a goddamn Hall of Famer.
Right.
That's a whole different conversation that we're having here, and resurrected 2 college programs for crying out loud. Like he's a completely different individual than these other folks that he's being compared to. So that's why I think that it's apples and oranges. This is not, again, Jeff, it's not the Mannings, it's not the freaking Elways, it's not the Balls, it's not baby Gronk and his dumbass dad. That's not what this is. You're talking about somebody that's a bona fide leader and a Hall of Famer. You know what I'm saying? And not only was a Hall of Famer, but is a Hall of Famer amongst Hall of Famers. Like the guy was not only the best of his generation, but the best of many generations, okay? When you're talking about Deion Sanders. So when you're talking about being invested into what your kid's development is going to be, that to me is not intimidating at all. And then you look at this idea too, Jeff, and I think Michelle touched on a curious point there where, like, okay, if the Raiders are, and here's where it goes back to the previous conversation too. If the Raiders of 2024, if we're just going to plug and play them into 2025, if I'm Deion Sanders, I'm like, nope. Not going to let my kid go within a mile of that organization.
Exactly.
But if he has a conversation with Mark and with Tom, and they go, because he said, I'm not going to do it publicly. I'm doing it off the books. Hey, Deion. Hey, Prime. We've got Ben Johnson coming in. He's going to put together his staff. We're going to set, Shedeur up with whoever quarterback coach. We're going to set him up for the position to be most successful. We want to take this Raider team. We want him to be the face of not only this organization, but the entirety of the NFL. And we are open to your feedback. And you and Tom and work together on what direction that we're going to go in with this. And Ben and building this staff and set this kid up for success. You don't think they would jump all over that? You don't think that Deion was put his foot down and frickin' make that happen for his, or not? He wouldn't make it happen. It's not entirely up to him, and it depends on where we draft. And there's so many things that are to be considered here. But I think, again, that makes a lot of sense to me.
Paul has a good, he said, we could be heading for another problem if Brady makes big calls. What would Tom Telesco think about it all? Where does Tom Telesco fit into that?
He might be gone too.
Well, I don't think so. I don't think he, no, not after 1 year.
You don't think that he's strapped to AP?
No.
In any way?
Not at all. No, and I think that there's a reason that he didn't jump on a lot of moves that I think that under other circumstances, you might have seen the Raiders be a hell of a lot more active at the trade deadline, either as buyers or sellers than they were, because I don't think so. I think Telesco is not tethered to AP. I think that he's, frankly, probably going to be very distant from him in that fact. And that's a fair question there from Paul. But I would say this, if you're Tom Telesco and Tom Brady and Mark Davis come to you and go, hey, we're going to work it out with Shedeur and Deion because we've got the number 3 overall pick. And even if we have to move up a spot, that's what we're going to do to bring in the franchise quarterback. I don't see, because again, Telesco is now tied. So here, I'll say that, and then I'm going to shut up and turn it back over to Jeff. Telesco is now tied to what the Raiders do from here out.
Yeah.
Because if AP isn't the future, right? And now he's tied. So when you look at, I always forget his name, but the guy that's the GM of the Bills. And when they drafted Josh Allen, he was criticized. And they said, you've given up so much to go get Josh Allen. And his response to that was, well, it's going to work, because if it doesn't, neither one of us are going to be here. So that's where I look at Tom Telesco in going into this offseason, into this draft, knowing that now our Raiders are probably only going to win 3 or 4 or 5 games tops. We're going to be in the mix for one of these top players. If Tom Brady or Mark Davis or a combination of both went to him and said, hey, Tom, get Deion's kid, what, you think he's going to say no? Hell no. He's going to say, yeah, okay, cool, because that's the best path to my own success.
Yeah. Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's a fair question, Paul, but I think that it makes sense, though, that he would be on board.
I think those talks have already begun.
Yeah.
I think they've already begun already.
Preach, bro.
Mark Davis has developed a really good relationship with Shedeur Sanders. Tom Brady obviously has a really good relationship with Shedeur Sanders because, I mean, he mentored the kid since freaking high school. As you know, he's kind of his quarterback mentor and all this kind of stuff. So the writing's on the wall there. You know, you see Shedeur Sanders tweeting every single week that the Raiders lose. Thank God. You know what I mean? And I know it's Sunday and he's a God-fearing man and all that stuff, but a lot of people are reading into that going, well, maybe he's just hoping that the Raiders do whatever.
What about the cleats?
I was just about to say that. He just got some brand new silver and black cleats and he's showing them off on his Instagram story or whatever and goes, shout out Raiders. All this. So, like, I mean, the writing is totally on the wall. I think they're going to go all in, even if the Raiders do win a few more games and get out of the top 5 or anything like that. I think they'll trade back up in to do whatever they need to do to get Shedeur
If we get
Sanders.
Ashton Gentry and freaking Shedeur in this draft.
Think about him, or what about him and Travis Hunter?
Oh, gosh. No, it's a pipe dream, dude. No way. No way we get him.
You don't think?
Nah. I mean, Dion just said it right there. He was like, because he said, I'm going to be dad. And then he was like, and for Trav too. Like, I mean, because Travis Hunter, I mean, that's his baby. So, I mean, I think that's too much of a pipe dream. I mean, I would, don't get me, I mean, listen, I'm not saying that like I wouldn't love it. I would, that would be epic, bro. Yeah. Especially to have those
two and prime
on that level. Oh shit! But the caliber of players that those two are going to be, and then on rookie contracts, that's crazy. Because then you just go defense with everything else.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Find a running back like your guy at a UT later in the draft. There you go. Get Sampson later in the draft. Like. That would be insane. But you'd have to, I mean, Travis is going to be number one. Yeah. I think.
You think he's going to go number one overall?
I honestly do. I think that he'll be, that's where I say that like Shedeur is going to be top 3 guaranteed because I think it's going to be Travis, Cam, and Shedeur. I think that's your slam dunk first three picks. I don't see anybody else because even as good as Ashton, I always mess his last name. Is it Janty? Janty. As good as he is as running backs, he might even win the Heisman.
Yeah.
But he ain't going in the NFL nowadays. He'll be a mid to late rounder in a first round. He'll be like Bijan Robinson or something like that.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
He'll be a mid to late rounder, but he ain't going at the top of the draft. But so anyways, I think that's a little bit of a pipe dream. I love it.
Yeah.
I think that's a little bit of a stretch there. But yeah.
You think there's a chance that the Raiders draft Shedeur and then trade back up into the first and go grab another superstar?
Yes, and get Ashton. Yeah, because again, you think about it. Think about this team, Michelle. If we had a dominant running back, because to give you the comparison, Raider Nation, for those of you who aren't familiar with him, group of 5 guy, plays at Boise State, right?
Right.
His comp, and this isn't Murf speak, this is all the experts, and even not just our buddies, the group of 5 guys, shout out group of 5 guys and Jeff Murphy. This isn't just them, but national media is comparing him to Barry Sanders. That's his comp. He's going to set
pretty good
the NCAA record for rushing. Like, that's how good this kid is. So, and he's not going to go in the top of the first round. He'll go to the mid-late rounds. So if you're the Raiders, you're going to have a high second already. So you package that to move up there, and you get a Shedeur Sanders and a guy like Ashton to go in the first round. Like, think about what this offense would look like with those two guys. Just keep everything the same as it is right now.
Yeah.
Yes, different coach, different coordinators, but personnel-wise, offense the same as it is now, right? Maybe a little bit better on offensive line, whatever. And install those 2 guys in there. What's this look like? Like that, like
so the first
shit, that fire me up, man. I gotta hype up again.
The first thing I'm not gonna let y'all do is get my hopes up, damn it. We still have so many games to finish out the. But here's what I think. So they didn't do everything in their power to get Jaden Daniels, which we don't know like how hard they tried. We don't really know. Maybe they tried their hardest and it failed. Tom Telesco will not let that happen again in this coming season. Like, he is going to do whatever he has to do to get Shedeur Sanders or whoever it is that that just seems like the perfect fit. But like I said, y'all are not going to get my damn hopes up. Damn it. Because that's all you said it was a dream. Like, that's all we can do right now is freaking dream about the best case scenario. But that would be incredible. But I also thought this last season was going to be incredible.
That's true.
I just want him to be good. Damn it! Make it happen. That's all I can. That's it. Please.
Well, and Jeff, so you think about this, like we have such a deficiency at quarterback, right? And I think Michelle's point is interesting, is that Telesco didn't completely sell out, or maybe he did for Jaden Daniel. They might have offered him everything they were possibly capable of offering them. And the Washington Commanders were like, nope, that's going to be the guy because he's going to take us into the future. And they were right. Yeah. Okay, so there may be a scenario in that. So I don't hold him entirely, accountable for the lack of movement on QB. And then they bring in Gardner as the insurance policy, which is an awful insurance policy. That shit, man.
Yeah. That's terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, the freaking, the premium on that thing, the deductible on that. Deductible was way too high.
No kidding.
On that insurance policy. But the point being, though, is that would he do that again? I think the answer to that question is no. So, and I can't believe we're talking about the draft here at the beginning of November, but it's what we got. If it's not Shedeur Sanders, and I don't love Cam Ward as a player, I understand his talent, and I get it, but he makes a lot of bad throws too, and we saw that this last week, playing against Georgia Tech. I think he's very inconsistent at times. After that, bro, it falls off a cliff. And wouldn't you know?
It would be third round.
And I don't want to speak this into existence. That's the point, though. Wouldn't you know it? It would be some Raidery ass shit for us to take Quinn Ewers at the 5th spot in the draft, or Carson Beck, or freaking, I don't know, whatever the kid out of Penn State, or whatever. All these second and third tier quarterbacks.
Yep.
That. Bro, it's because it really does. It falls off a cliff.
Oh, it does.
After Shedeur. And I think Shedeur and Cam all fall in behind the top 5 guys from last year.
Oh, for sure.
I don't
totally agree.
I think
Penix is a better quarterback than either one of them.
I agree. Yeah, I agree.
Yep.
I agree. So that's what I'm saying. So what would, if we can't, I don't know, man, this is a mess. I don't know. Let's hit a break and cry and talk about something else.
Yeah, let's talk. Yeah, let's hear from AP.
Okay.
Oh, great.
What?
We'll hear from AP, right?
Oh, about me.
Oh, about Minshew.
Oh, Minshew, sorry.
Patrick Claybon with NFL Network here. Hey, folks, I know 3 things you might like. Do you like football? Do you like the Las Vegas Raiders? Do you like listening to things? I'll add a 4th. Do you like swag? Well, here we got Swag Jeff, Murf, Uncle Mosh. This is Raiders Fan Radio.
All right, so speaking of quarterbacks and speaking of Gardner Minshew, let's check in with Antonio Pierce, our illustrious leader, as he today announces who the starting quarterback is going to be coming in out of the bye week.
Have you decided on a quarterback first?
Yeah, Gardner Minshew.
Okay, what went into that decision?
Listen, when we brought in Gardner, we expected, obviously, the play that we had seen in the past. And, at some point, you got to give a guy confidence. And there's been times, obviously, with turnovers and other things that have taken place where we made decisions to either put him on the bench or go to another quarterback. But this week, I felt like, Gardner gives us the best opportunity to move forward. And he has every opportunity to go out there and help us get to a win.
How do you give him confidence? How do you give Gardner confidence at this point?
Everybody around him. Starts with the staff, starts with myself, starts with belief, letting him know, man, go out there and let it go. Let it loose. And what we got to lose at this point, right? 2-7. So everything that's behind us is behind us, and I'm looking forward to everything in front of me.
Okay. Everything that's behind us is behind us, and looking forward to it. So, okay, I know, right? There's so many things to touch on there. So let's start with this. We got to give him some confidence. You mean after you yanked him out of his starting position and replaced him with Aiden O'Connell, and then after you saw him reinsert himself or got reinserted after O'Connell got hurt, then you went and made a move to bring in another quarterback to take his spot, and then that quarterback replaced him in the last game, and then now you're going back and naming him the starting quarterback. This is an absolute, I think, indictment of a lot of different things, one including Desmond Ridder is ass. And it took them 2 weeks of practice, well, 1 week of practice because they took a week off. Yeah, that was good. But so you bring in Desmond Ridder, you see him play in the game, then you give him a week's worth of practice and you go, yep, he's still not it. Yeah, that's why he was on the practice squad. Like, that's the reason that the freaking guy it wasn't on someone's freaking starting roster. And so this idea that, like, and this is where I'm starting to really struggle with Antonio Pierce, is that we want to give him some confidence. What do we have to lose?
What do we have to lose at this point?
How about your fucking job, bro?
How do you instill confidence in a guy and go, yeah, we got against Gardner Minshew. We got to give him confidence. What else we got to lose? What? Have you lost your damn mind? That's the worst thing that you could possibly say to instill confidence in a guy. Well, what the fuck are we gonna do? What else?
Gardner's going, yeah, I got you, coach. Yeah. Oh my!
That's so stupid, man.
Stupid, dude.
Oh. Holy cow! That's insane, man. Yeah, how many times are you gonna yank the guy and all this stuff? Gardner Minshew's confidence is at an ATL, and I'm not talking about Atlanta. It's all-time low. Like, holy shit, man! Like, that's terrible.
It's bananas, Michelle.
That's terrible.
It just really encompasses this season. Like, just hearing him at this stage in the season making such an acidine statement, but saying it with such confidence himself.
Oh, yeah.
Makes my eye twitch, and he doesn't deserve this position. He should not be.
He's over his head. He's over his skis.
So
yeah.
Buried.
Way over.
He's way over his head. Yeah. He's not the guy. Yeah. Got nothing else to say.
Let's get him some confidence.
Yeah.
Let's throw him out there against the Miami team. So people gave me crap a couple weeks ago or last week, whatever it was, we were on the rundown, whatever it was, and I'm like, yeah, like we got to go play this Miami team that's improving, and people are like, oh, Murphy, you're crazy. They're 2-6. Yeah, well, now they're 3-6.
Yeah.
And they're probably the best 3-6 football team. Anybody watch that shit?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Let's talk about that a little bit, going this Dolphins game. Anybody watch that game against the Rams? In the Rams' house, which I hate that. Rams house. So stupid. But you anybody watch that? They are fast, dude.
They're fast.
They are fast. And
they look so much different with Tua.
Dude, it's insane.
It's insane, the difference.
It's insane. And their defense does not play on their heels, man. They are freaking coming at you on every single play. They have a great secondary. They got, what's his name? Big man in the middle, 93. Oh my gosh, I'm blanking on his name.
Oh, I don't know his name.
Been in the league for...
Calais Campbell.
Thank you, Calais Campbell.
Sorry.
Crushing it. He was like the player of the game on Thursday Night Football.
Yeah.
They got this amazing presence up front. They got
the guy's your age.
Hey, yeah, actually, yeah, that'd be nice. That's a compliment now. I'm old enough.
Yeah.
I wish I was that age. But like they have a decent pass rush. They got a great press up the middle, an awesome secondary, and it's on the road, and it's on the East Coast, and in the early time slot. You know what, Gardner? I'm sorry, G-Dog, bro. We were rooting for you, man. We made T-shirts, and people gave us shit and said you made T-shirts about a backup quarterback, and I thumped my chest and I said, "You damn right we did." There's going to get eaten. The speed on their offense is going to. Achane. Oh, yeah, by the way, they got freaking Odell and Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle.
Unless Tyreek got injured with Odell's celebration or whatever. Did you see that?
Oh.
No, I missed that.
Yeah, when Tyreek scored that touchdown, Odell comes running in and jumping freaking slammed Tyreek to the ground.
Yeah, but it was his wrist is what was killing him.
Yeah, but he said, I kind of messed up my neck.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No, okay.
Yeah, Odell kind of got me a little bit. No, he's going to.
He'll
have a record day.
You know what I'm saying? Tyreek don't miss games, man. But and so that said, so we know he got named the starter, and I really hate speaking things over by just giving my opinion, but it's where we're at, man. And so Michelle, I think this is going to be ugly. And what evidence do we have otherwise to tell us that this isn't going to be an ugly loss? Other than I'll say this. Okay, before we turn over to you, I'll say this. Norv Turner.
Oh, right.
Is notorious for a down-the-field passing game. And we have been critical of this Luke Getsy offense for playing back behind the line of scrimmage, not attacking the line of scrimmage, not letting plays develop and pressing downfield. That's what Norv does good. That's what, even as bad as those Raider teams were when he was our head coach, that's what Kerry Collins did well. We pressed the ball downfield. We had a top 10 offense back under Norv Turner. So if that's the influence he's going to have over his kid and Scott Turner, we might see a different offensive output. Should that click on all cylinders? Maybe I'm way off base. But other than that, I feel like this is going to be a notorious freaking Raider East Coast game where we get our asses handed to us.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's the spark may be that Getsy got fired. They, had this team meeting. They pull their shit together, and maybe they squeak out a win. But I don't have any faith in this team. And especially when you just named all those people, and the freaking speed on that team is like, I think it's going to be.
They're a track team.
It's going to be embarrassing.
They're an Olympic track team for crying out loud.
Yeah.
Sure.
And I don't know that I trust Gardner to be throwing long balls down the field. Like, I don't know that he's the one I want doing that.
He's almost leading the league in turnovers. So, let's just let him sling the ball down there.
Brock Bowers, please, feed him.
What is he, 1 or 2 interceptions behind Sam Darnold now, Jeff?
1. Yeah, I think Darnold's got 13 and Gardner's got 12 or something like that.
Oh, gosh. Yes, I don't think I want him airing it out.
No, for sure. Yeah, no, I'm with you, dude. I think and not to mention it's an East Coast game, which the Raiders are notorious for not being good at that anyway, even with a good team. You put the product out here that we've got right now, it's just, I'm with you, man. I think it's going to be ugly.
Coming off a bye week where they got a whole week off.
Then we got a whole week.
Bro,
come on.
No. We're 2-7. We want to build some confidence. Y'all go to the house.
Yeah.
Hey, but we got Michael Mayer back.
Yeah, well, that's nice. And I was going to play that clip, man, but I want to get moved on because I want to hear from Raider Nation because more of them and less of us is a good thing.
Yeah, it is.
But let's talk about that, though. I'll say this about that. I don't know and I don't know if anybody else does, and I think that it's all speculation, even if somebody does have an answer to this. Whatever that young man has been dealing with, whether that's depression or that's a substance thing or, I don't know, an illness or whatever the thing is that Michael Mayer has been dealing with, big prayers up from Raider Nation, big support from us here at Raiders Fan Radio and our chat room and everybody else that's involved with this show, because that's one of the things we were looking forward to this year was seeing those two guys, Brock Bowers and Michael Mayer lining up on the field at the same time. And, I think that could be our version of Hernandez and Gronk. And I really do. Sure. I still genuinely think that could be the thing.
For sure.
Should we find some adequate quarterback play? You know what I mean? I think that could be the case. And so hopefully that young man, not only for the performance on the field, but for him personally, most importantly, comes back and finds some health. So
absolutely. Well, hey.
Got anything else? Get off your check. Come on, let's go. One last time around the table. What is it? Let's vent. Wait, what is it? What do they say in Seinfeld? This is the airing of the grievances.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
I think I really went in on Antonio Pierce, but I stand on everything I said. I would love to win every game for the rest of this season, but as long as they show some sort of heart, I guess that's all I can be fucking happy with, because it just doesn't seem like we're going to get a whole lot of anything out of them.
Yeah,
so
for sure,
I don't know.
For those of you that were so upset, me included, that we didn't draft a guy like Jaden Daniels, he would not look the same on this Raider team as what he's looking for the Commanders right now. So don't be that heartbroken. Yes, you should be heartbroken, but I'm telling you, this coaching staff and the people that we had in the building, because it was going to be Luke Getsy. You trust Luke Getsy with a guy like Jaden Daniels? Yikes.
You might have broke him.
Right?
I'm telling you, man. Yeah, that would have been horrible. Horrible. And then we would have had to stick around with AP for a few extra years because they're, they've got this connection and all this stuff and we're going to get it right and all this, I'm telling you, man, go all in on whoever you got this year, Raiders. If Shedeur's your guy, find a guy that can coach up Shedeur, even if it is Coach Prime. Bring in somebody to do the damn job. That's the only hope that we have at this point.
Yeah.
It's the only hope that I have at this point.
Okay.
Yeah,
and I'll just say this, we're all down bad. Yeah. We're all down bad as Raider fans, and so the airing of the grievances would be this, is that, I think that it's a challenge for us as fans that despite who the owner is, what city they play in, who the head coach is, what stadium they're in, who the quarterback is, who our offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, none of it matters. And even when we do have some semblance of success, there are exterior things that influence that success. So 2016, Derek breaks his leg, breaks his back, breaks his pinky. 2017, there's a meltdown in the locker room before the Washington game on Monday Night Football. 2021, someone throws 4 passes short of the end zone in a playoff game. You know what I mean? It's like there's always like something that keeps us from taking that next step. And, you can call it a curse, you can call it a, pattern, I don't care what you call it. But I think that it's time for the Raiders to break hard from that. And I think that, as I alluded to a little bit earlier, there's never a better time. We've got new influences in ownership. We can have a completely revamp of a coaching staff. We can have a new starting quarterback. Everything can be that has relation to the organization outside of, no one wants to see Sandra Douglas Morgan go anywhere. Yeah. Like there are a handful of folks that we don't want to see. Outside of that, wipe it all out, because the 2 things we do have going for us is Vegas and Allegiant Stadium. Yeah. Everything else, burn it down. And then let's start fresh. Hopefully that will be enough to rekindle this organization, because Al Davis said the greatness of the Raiders is in its future. And we've been saying that for many, many years.
Yeah. You know how I know that we're down really bad? The Bengals fans didn't even rub it in our face. They just looked at us like, so real sorry, sad. Yeah,
because they're down.
Well, they're down too, but they beat us.
And they look at you, at us, and like, they're down worse than we are.
Yikes.
They didn't even rub it in our faces. They were,
for real.
They were apologetic almost with their eyes.
Yeah, for real.
It's really,
for real.
That's how bad it is.
For real. And you know what? And I'm glad that you brought up that the ownership changes and all that stuff. I think Brady's going to be our MVP. It's got to be.
You think he comes out of the booth?
I think so.
My vote as a fan, which is worth just my opinion on this show, if I could paint the picture for the Raiders' future, Tom Brady exits the booth, so there's no restrictions on him, and Mark goes, "Here, Tom.
Take it." I'm with you.
I'll be Robert Kraft. I'll be Jeffrey Lurie. I'll be the Maras. I'll be whatever. All these organizations around the league to where ownership is separate, completely separate from football operations. Mm-hmm. I mean, you got to roll the dice on someone. Roll it on Brady.
Yep.
Why not, man?
Why not? Why not?
Who's a better option?
Can't get any worse.
It can't get any worse.
No, but you just listed all of those things, and I love Mark Davis. I think he's done well for the business side.
We're not critics of Mark.
I'm not a critic of Mark. But all these things that you just talked about, the downfalls of 2016 and 17 and 21 and all these things, the coulda, shoulda, wouldas and all this stuff, it's all under solely Mark Davis's watch. So if we have someone else that can jump into football operations and can maybe look at things and give a little bit different perspective, we might see some different results, pal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair.
Hey, more of them and less of us is a
Crossing
good
my
thing.
fingers.
Let's head to the Sea of Fans mailbag.
He is fading, looking. He's under the gun. He's tied. He throws. It is. Oh, he caught it.
All right, Raider Nation, appreciate all of those of you that are joining us live here tonight at Raiders Fan Radio. Appreciate Chuck Raiders in there. Ron the Materator is in there. Raider Dank Vader is in there. Raider Loco is in there. Jordan Ford is in there. Mr. Wilson is in there. Alfred Esparza. Sacktown Raider Mike. John Monaco. Paul, of course. Paul. is in there. We appreciate all of those of you. Jay Morse is in there. Shout out Salt City, Silver and Black.
Hey,
appreciate
for sure.
all of those of you that are joining us live tonight at youtube.com/Raiders Fan Radio. And as we always say around here, more of you and less of us is a good thing. So you can contact us a multitude of ways. One, by that chat room that I just shouted out. But also you can send us a voicemail by calling 909-345-3346. That's 909-345-3346. Or you can send us an email. And if you have a moment and you've got a pen and you can jot it down, it's show. That is SHOW. That is show at RaidersFanRadio.com. And you can send us an email. And if you email the show an indefinite amount of times, or you call the show and leave a message and we play it 3 times on the air, you can become the next made man or made maiden here at Raiders Fan Radio. And so Michelle has the honor of reading your incredible emails this week.
Yes.
And so Michelle, who do we got?
All right, so first we have Hooligan.
Hooligan!
Evening, RFR crew, Murf, Swaggo, Michelle. Since he was a blast, the tailgate was fantastic. The Saturday night takeover was packed full of fun. Black Hole chapters from all over the country showing up and showing their pride in all its silver and black glory. It's always amazing meeting fans from all over the world. Shout out to the New York TBH boys. Great hanging out. The Raider Nation is undefeated at the tailgate. The game, well, that sucked. We got our ass handed to us. As much as our offense has been atrocious all season, we did little to stop Burrow or the Bengals' run game. Where was our defense? Wasn't that supposed to be the shining light for us? Anyway, that game's gone, the bye week's over, and it's on to Miami. It's the month of gratitude, and if I'm honest, finding things to be grateful for in regards to the Raiders, well, it's a struggle. So let's see. Congrats to Jackson Powers Johnson on his recent engagement. Welcome back, Michael Mayer. Anytime we can get players back on the field is a good thing. Lester Hayes and Jim Plunkett are still on the short list for the senior class of the Hall of Fame. Let's get them in before it's too late. That one QB that used to be a Raider has now lost 31 teams and could be 32 by the end of the season. Anyway, like I said, it's on to Miami, and I'm predicting tuna fish sandwiches on Victory Monday. Here we go. Paul. Evening, everybody. I hope you're all well. There have been lots of things to ponder over the bye week. I've sat in the corner of a quiet room, hugging my knees and rocking back and forth, wondering what the hell went wrong this year. I'd love to be able to tell you that I have answers to the many questions, but I've got nothing. I'm just as confused and embarrassed as the rest of you. Confused because it all seemed so much better than this at the beginning, and embarrassed because I fell for the whole snake oil sales pitch that surrounded Coach Pierce and his crew. What it has done, though, has made me feel very conflicted. This is my 43rd year on the Raider Nation journey, and I'm as proud today as the first time I picked up a Raiders commentary on AFN Europe back in 1981. Through all of the confusion of finding a new sport to listen to, my first full season being a strike year, and through to today, I haven't wavered for my love for the Raiders one iota. In fact, it's the opposite. If anything, my love has strengthened through the heartache and stress of it all. But here's the conflicted part. I have never and will never subscribe to the tanking theory. It makes me feel ill thinking about it, wanting to see us lose on purpose. However, this is the closest I've ever felt to, if we lose, then We've tried trading up from a mid-range pick many times over the years, and it's far too complicated having to rely on trade partners and everything else that goes with it. Our best chance to be competitive is to get as high a pick as possible for next April and get our QB. And if going 2-15 is what it takes, then so be it. We are such a poorly coached team right now, we won't have to try too hard to hit a top 5 pick. Then we just have to trust in Tom Telesco or Tom Brady, whoever it might be, to get the right people on the sidelines and on the field. I feel so sad for the guys on the roster that are busting their balls every week, but we can't afford to keep hoping we'll right the ship with middle-of-the-road stuff. We have to be proactive, and we need to take the hit now for hopefully an exciting time from next year. An exciting time from next year. Sadly, this scenario would mean the end of the road for Coach Pierce. I really wanted him to succeed and be the hero for us, but that's the nature of the beast, I'm afraid. What we are seeing right now is painful and embarrassing at times, so make the decision now. But, dear listener, here's the other side of the way I'm feeling. I sat here over the weekend thinking if we have to lose out more or less, then we can just win our divisional games. Then that'll be okay. 3 more wins, but then I don't want Carr beating us either. So I want to beat the Saints. Okay, maybe that's 4 more wins. Then we'd be around 6-11 and have a mid-round pick. Damn you Raiders, this is so confusing. We absolutely cannot afford another mid-round pick. So now I'm all screwed up again. I'm nervous and shit, and I'm sweating like a nun on a cucumber farm. Pass me the chicken and
jeez.
Damn,
Paul. Gosh.
Pass me the truth chicken and let's go.
Could have went with zucchini.
Dolphins. Stay safe, our family.
Where's your
Love
tact,
you, Raider
Paul?
Nation. His Lordship, the Royal Scribe, Paul Edgerton, Shropshire, Mississippi, Polly Award winner 2019-2022, Foggy Glasses Award winner 2020, Made Man of the Year 2024, BRT Scissor Scorekeeper, Proud Made Man, five time times 3 plus 4, winner of the Raiders Fan Radio BRT Sizzler Award.
Your name Paul? Hello? Paul. Hello? Paul.
I met him with Paul. Who? Paul.
Paul, yes, Paul.
Paul's not here. Hey, Paul. Paul.
Hi. I'm Paul.
Give it up for Paul. What a great email. Good stuff there from our buddy Paul. We appreciate you, my man, and appreciate you with the email from across the pond from over in the UK. And always good stuff there from our buddy Paul. Like, he's up there with Ron, man, like the maid of the made men, man. It doesn't get any more made than Paul.
Yep.
All right, so now let's move on to the voicemails. We've got a handful of voicemails to get to. I will tell you that on our mobile setup here, I don't have time to censor these things, to edit these things up. So there is language. So if you have young folks in the car, if you have sensitive ears, then tell them to do a little bit of earmuffs there. And because there's going to be some inflammatory language. It's never, hopefully it's not like aggressive and angry, but it's frustration.
Could be.
Frustration. Raider Nation, man. Sure. Yeah. You know, or what George Lopez said in his one comedy special, he's like, I'm not crying, I'm just frustrated. That's what Raider Nation is right now.
Yeah.
We're just frustrated, man. Shit. So yeah, it ends up with some salty language. So anyways, skip this part, pause this part, come back to it, turn it down, hit the mute button, whatever you do.
Put an AirPod in.
Or just let it fly and tell your kids it's not okay to talk like this until they're 16.
Yeah.
That's what I told mine.
Really?
Yeah. I'm like, you're going to hear some shit out of dad. Yeah. But it's not okay for you to say it in front of adults. Don't say it at church. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Don't talk like that at school. But, you know what I mean? You're going to hear language from the old man.
Gives him an edge.
Hey, man, don't shelter him.
No.
Yeah, just let him hear it. Just let him know that it's not appropriate in certain contexts. If you're on a Raider show with your best friends, you want to say fuck, then fucking A, go for it.
Period.
There you go. The end.
Exactly.
The end.
All right, here we go.
Michelle, Swago, Murf. This is a week where I can call, and the Raiders didn't let us fucking down. Hell yeah. This is a week where, if you're cheering for the draft, almost everything went our way. We're up in the top 5 now. This is a week where I can no longer care if there are wins or losses because it doesn't fucking matter. This is a week where Davante Adams could have been on the Bills. It was reported he had a choice between the Bills and the Jets, and he chose the Jets. The Bills are winning, and the Jets suck ass. Or, as one caller said, they can suck their whole butthole. That's what the Jets are. A whole butthole.
No, it wasn't. Mojo said they can lick my whole butthole.
Yeah, not suck it.
That's way better.
That's,
That's way better.
Tell us about your life.
That's
Damn.
hilarious.
That's way better. That's way better.
All right, so this is Jay in St. Louis, by the way. Here we go.
But they're trying to win, and the Raiders suck shit. So Davante could be on a team where we suck shit, and he could have been with us, but he quit on us. don't blame him, but when he could have chose a team like the Bills or the Jets, and he chose his best friend in the Jets, fuck him. But I don't know, man. I don't know what to cheer for. I'm not even excited.
Oh, it's going to get good, I think.
Almost every team I cheer for sucks right now. I'm in St. Louis. There's no NBA team. I like the Bucks. They suck shit.
Chuck Rader says, okay, that one I can't explain to the kids.
I like the Raiders. They suck shit. I don't know, man. It's just love that I have WWE because that never lets me down. But shit, man, this year sucks. Let's just get it over with. Let's just suck, I guess, for the rest of the year so we can get Shedeur or Cam Ward. I don't know. Have a great show, guys.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
We're down bad.
Yeah.
Jay says, I don't even remember calling in at all.
He didn't? What did you say it was 10 beers deep on that one?
Right on.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, much respect, man. Keep them coming though, Jordan Ford.
Heck yeah.
Jay in St. Louis. Appreciate you, my man. All right, next
Keep
up, let's
drinking
see.
and calling.
That's right. This is from the 559. I'm guessing this is Jacob in Fresno.
Yeah.
Murf, the swag bag, and the lovely Michelle Flynn. What's up, guys? This is
Oh, so he's back in high spirits again this week.
Yeah, it sounds
It seems
like
like it.
Yeah, Jacob was down last week.
He was.
He starts. He may be down a little bit.
Yeah,
but then
but
he
you didn't
ramps
get the
up.
lovely Michelle swag. You didn't get any of that. He was like, hey, Murph, hey, Jeff, hey, Michelle.
Yeah, you're right.
Remember
That
last
is
week?
true.
Yeah, he started. Yeah, he was
Oh shit.
yeah. So no, he's back up.
Okay, good.
All right, let's start from the top. I like did Jacob in St. Louis or in Fresno get me a little fired up here?
Yeah.
Let's
Okay,
get
all right,
fired
here we go.
up. Let's get
Bring the
fired up.
positivity. Let's go.
Jacob from Fresno, clearly. Guys, I know we got something to talk about this week, right? We got big news. It's the thing that everybody wants to talk about. Everybody's dying to hear what we're going to talk about on Raiders Fan Radio.
Come on.
Right? And it's not the story with Max Crosby and the team meeting. It's nothing to do with that, right? It's the T's and P's podcast. I want to talk to you guys about the tacos and pizza argument, right? And so here's the thing with Jeff. I mean, he got it right to start, man. You go with tacos. Tacos are done. You know, we can do without them. You know why? Because you can have carne asada and pollo on all kinds of things. You don't need a corn tortilla. But when it comes to pizza, that puffy, fluffy, chewy dough, golly, there's nothing like it. And I tell you what, as a man who now has gluten intolerance, I don't have the choice. I can no longer have a fluffy, gooey pizza crust or a crickety-crackety cracker pizza crust from some place like Mianez or something like that. I can't do it anymore, guys. I can have all the tacos I want. I can have corn tortillas, but my stomach can no longer take the sweet satisfaction of gluten. I can no longer feast on the wonderful, delectable beauty that is a nice, cheesy pizza. I can have a taco anytime I want. So I guess because of my horrifying experience with gluten and my sad missing longing to have gluten and pizza, I just think you're all crazy. It's gotta be pizza. You gotta live off of pizza. I mean, you can't have pizza all the time. You're gonna be a fat lard if you do that. But guys, let's say that again. You're gonna be a Jamarcus Russell, Trent Brown if you have pizza every day. So don't do it. But guys, what's with the tacos, man? You can have steak. I'd rather have steak than tacos. There's so many things I'd rather have than tacos. But God, if I could have one pizza, oh, it'd be great. I miss pizza. Anyways, the Raiders, right? Yeah, they're pretty cool. All right, T's and P's podcast out. You guys take it easy. Go Raiders!
Raiders! We had an emotional response there.
Yeah, we did.
To the tacos and to the tacos and pizza rundown there. From Jay.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
I love
hearing this take.
And I got to tell you, man, like, so Ernesto, when we talked about, I don't know if you heard the rundown, Michelle, but we talked about, what would you, if you had to give one up, what would you give up, right? And so Jeff said he would give up tacos because he was pizza. And you and I were team tacos, and Jeff was team pizza. And then Ernesto called from Mexico City, and he was like, Jeff, like, tacos the next day, hangover tacos are the best tacos. And Jeff was like, you know what, man, I can kind of see that because I can see tacos in the moment, tacos and hangover tacos, although I did throw out there the cold pizzas.
Hangover pizza's
that was great too.
Cold pizza out of fridge, man, top tier. But it's heavy.
Yeah.
It's heavy, where you can have a couple tacos, you know what I mean? Like, so Jeff flipped his answer.
Oh, okay.
But now you've got Jacobs in Fresno coming back at you saying, like, no, you had it right to begin with, so are you going to flip back?
No, I don't think so.
No?
No, I don't think so.
Staying on it?
I'm staying on it, but it's just, it's like picking one of your kids.
Dude, seriously.
Yeah.
It really is. I mean, how can you really choose? You know, I mean, health-wise, because I think that's where
I came out of.
That's where you came out.
And the versatility.
That's why I
the
chose the tacos too for the health-wise. I didn't even think about it.
Yeah, if I have to live off of one of those things, you'd have to be Jamarcus Russell to live off of pizza.
That's the thing, man.
You know?
Yeah, you can't, what?
His camera.
What? Oh, no.
Oh, my camera died again?
Okay.
That's okay.
All right, that's okay. Let's go ahead and hit the next voicemail here, and this is, I think this is Steve in San Diego.
Hey, this is Steve from San Diego again, originally from LA. I don't know if you can keep the last message anyway. I just heard this update, so they're going to start Gardner Minshew coming this week. So I have a theory about what's happening, and all the coaching stuff really doesn't matter right now at this point. I believe that, and I feel like Tom Brady from the beginning has been in Mark Davis' ear, going, we got to go get Shedeur. So even from the beginning of the year, maybe we didn't know because Antonio Pierce wanted AOC to start, but I think he got pressure to put Minshew in, and I think there was tanking from the beginning. It's just, I don't know, this feels like, think about it, Cliff Kingsbury, he didn't pay, he's like, I'm not going to get Cliff Kingsbury, we're not, so I feel like there's something going on that was already on. And Tom Brady's like, you know what? We need to go and get Shedeur. So I'm thinking maybe after this season, we'll see. Okay, you go, Hank, you get Shedeur, and then let's see what happens. Because that is still will matter about coaching. It's great, and all that stuff. And I hope there's something to it, and maybe there's something better. And maybe it will turn out. I don't know. Who knows? Because Tom Brady, he knows what a quarterback looks like. If somebody knows what it looks like, he does. And I've heard him on Colin talking about it and stuff like that. So it was kind of interesting. But I don't know. There's some interesting stuff going on here. So I think, the Raider mystique is alive, but it's a different way, guys. We're going to see what's going to happen by next year. So just hang on to your hat, enjoy right now, see what happens, and see what we do going forward. Get Shedeur, and then let's see what happens from there. I'm still going to get on the, right moves, coaching, all that stuff. Let's see what they do there. But anyway, so that's the newest take I have, and just hot off the press. Anyway, so talk to you guys later. All right, bye.
All right, so Steve in San Diego, we had a couple of guys that we were going to make from the last show, Jeff.
Yes.
One of them was Steve in San Diego. Do you remember who the second one was?
It was an emailer, right?
I don't remember. But we're going to play the music. Let's just do Steve in San Diego now.
Yep.
Because we got to find out who the second one was. But congratulations to Steve in San Diego. As we say here in Raiders Fan Radio, if we play your voicemail three times, indefinite amount of times if you're an emailer, 3 or more times if you're a voicemailer. And so we owe Steve to be the next made man here at Raiders Fan Radio. So you kind of join the inner circle. And so we appreciate you, Steve in San Diego.
You are a made man. You showed you are part of the family by participation. By chance, a man like yourself should make enemies, then they would become my enemies. Showing you are a friend of Raiders Fan Radio, you have leapt across the line. Friendship is everything. Friendship is more than talent. It is more than the government. It's almost equal to family. Be loyal. Made man, Raider fan. Someday, and that day may never come, I'll call upon you to do a service for me. But until that day, accept this as a gift. And don't ever forget, words can hurt more, but silence can break hearts.
Thank you, Steven San Diego. We appreciate you very, very much. And if you want to become the next Steven San Diego, the next made man, you can call us and leave us a message at 909-345-3346, just like this next caller did. And I believe this is our buddy Josh in the 703.
Hey. What up, fam? I don't know, I'm cutting this one pretty close, Murf. I don't know if I'll make it in. But just want to call, say, recharge, you know? Got that feel, those shitty weeks off my back. Ready to try this positivity bullshit again that y'all keep talking about. See how it goes. But I'm happy. I'm still happy to watch football. So, it is what it is. And my dad's a Dolphins fan, so I really hope we fucking kick their ass. But man, fuck the Dolphins!
Yes, indeed, my man. Absolutely. And so appreciate our buddy Josh in the 703. And Michelle, we've got one more to get to. So we went across the pond to close out the emails.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
And now we're going across the pond to close out the voicemails. Let's check in with our buddy Martin.
Nice.
Hey there, it's Martin from the 1732. That's how you do it, right? Identify your location using your area telephone dialing code. I had to drop the leading 0, of course. So, another win this week for our Raiders, which is becoming so predictable it's almost boring. I know we don't really want wins now in case we find ourselves out of the running for a mediocre college quarterback, but still, some effort would have been nice. We turn up week after week in podcast chat rooms to discuss tactics and personnel and so on. But what do we get from our team in week 10? Nothing. Makes me wonder why we bother sometimes, it really does. I'd suggest that fans had a bye week for themselves, but from the look of the attendances recently, the Allegiant looks empty of silver and black anyway. Oh well, on we go. Who's next? The Dolphins, who've won 50% more games than we have so far this season. I just hope they're gentle with us. Go Raiders!
Paul said that Martin is also owed a made man.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah,
Maybe he was the other one that I was trying to. Well, then you know what?
And also Matthew Stanley was the
That was the other one. Okay. All right. You know what? Let's hit it again. Let's do it. Let's give it up for Matthew Stanley. Pick me up here, Jeff. While I'm looking for
absolutely. And our buddy Martin. And speaking of which, we have the One Nation Foundation, and we have an amazing donation that just came in from our buddy Yoshi.
Oh,
Says, hope everyone
Yoshi.
is well, with a $50 donation. Much respect to you, Yoshi, and much respect to Martin and Matthew Stanley, because you are the next two made men here at Raiders Fan Radio.
You are a made man. You showed you are part of the family by participation. By chance, a man like yourself should make enemies, then they would become my enemies. Showing you are a friend of Raiders Fan Radio, you have leapt across the line. Friendship is everything. Friendship is more than talent. It is more than the government. It's almost equal to family. Be loyal. Made man, Raider fan. Someday, and that day may never come, I'll call upon you to do a service for me. But until that day, accept this as a gift. And don't ever forget, words can hurt more, but silence can break hearts.
So shout out Martin. Shout out Matthew Stanley and who's our guy? David and
Steven San
Diego. Thank you to the three of you for becoming the next made men here at Raiders Fan Radio. And thank you to Yoshi, man, for that very, very kind donation. For those of you that don't know, 100% of the money that we generate around here through advertising dollars, through direct donations like the kindness of Yoshi there with that $50 donation. If you buy anything, any of our merch, like what Swag's wearing there, that Raiders Fan Radio hoodie, if you go to RaidersFanRadio.com and click on the gear button, that will take you to our TeePublic site where you can buy our merch, or you can even buy official Raiders merch like the Salute to Service hoodie that I'm wearing tonight. We get a kickback from Fanatics on that kind of stuff. We get a kickback from TeePublic. 100% of that money goes to the One Nation Foundation, which is our nonprofit supporting Raiders-related charities. So thank you to all of those of you and the amazing support you give us, not only through those direct donations like Yoshi, but just through the merch sales. And even if you can't support the show monetarily, just hit a like, hit a subscribe, hit a thumbs up. Tell your Raider friends about us. Anything that you can do to, it's not about elevating Raiders Fan Radio, it's about elevating the foundation. And we can't do that without elevating Raiders Fan Radio and the awareness of this podcast. So thank you guys so very, very much. We love you so very, very much. And Swag Jeff, you have the honor of handing out a Sizzler, which goes out to our best emailer or phone caller of the night. And Swaggo, who do we have tonight?
Absolutely. Well, we had some amazing emails and voicemails tonight. Of course, we started off with the emails with Hooligan Nation and Paul. And then we had some amazing calls, Jay in St. Louis, Jacob in Fresno, Steve in San Diego, Josh in the 703, and Martin. But tonight's Sizzler Award goes to a guy that just had amazing takes. He had absolutely incredible takes, loved every second of it. It was fantastic. He had some amazing takes on pizza and on the T's and P's. Tonight's Sizzler Award goes to Jacob in Fresno.
Let's go.
I am the Sizzler.
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 Sizzler. We are Metallica, and we are here for your Oakland Raiders.
You know why we out here, and we ain't playing around today.
From The Walking Dead to errant Jedi Knights, Raiders fans are a rogues gallery.
Hey, can I give a final shout out before we get into the pepper situation that we're going to close the show out with?
Please. Oh yeah,
I want to give, because we didn't give respect at the top of the show.
No, we sure didn't.
In the top of the show, we normally give a lot of respect. I want to give respect because I noticed it with Swag Jeff. You're wearing the Budweiser hoodie. Michelle, you're wearing your awesome Las Vegas Raiders hoodie. I'm wearing my freaking Salute to Service. It's hoodie season.
Hey, let's go.
Much respect to hoodies, man.
Respect to hoodies.
This is when it's like we're in the throes of football season when it's hoodie season, man.
Finally, mid-November.
Oh my gosh, come on, man. Look, Valerie the other day, she's like, oh no, let's get ready to cool off. I'm like, baby, it's mid-November. I'm like, we've been
about damn time.
I've been sweating for 7 months.
Yeah. 100%. 100%.
Yeah, shout out hoodie season, man.
And speaking of respect, much respect to Ty Raider, who just became a member and he became a member. He became a member for a whole year.
What?
Wow.
Member, cabrón? Member? You member? You don't member? You member? Member? Shit, you cried a lot. That's remember.
Martin says hoodie in the blowhard. Only one over here.
Oh my gosh, so good stuff there, Raider Nation. We appreciate you so very, very much. All right, so for those of you that missed it on our what is it called? On the Twitters. So we're here at the new crib. We've got a garden out there, and Valerie and I are not green thumbs. We're not gardeners. Oh, and by the way, here ends the Raider portion of the night. So if you don't want to hear us, and if you want to hear talk about the Raiders, this is not the show for you from here out. We moved in, so we got the garden and we got peppers in the garden. Okay?
Sure.
Neither one of us know how to garden, other than my great-grandfather used to grow tomatoes in his front yard because that's what old Italians did. Mm-hmm. And plus he made his own wine and all kinds of stuff. But anyways, that's the closest I am to gardening. Same thing with Valerie. She doesn't know a lot about it. So she goes out there, she picks these amazing peppers. And so we were like, hey, are any of these hot? We reached out to on the Twitter, there on the X, and so we got a bunch of different versions of responses. Some people are like, yeah, that one's hot, that one's not. Some people are like, it's basically all the same pepper. We don't know what's going on, so we have a hat full of mystery peppers, and we're gonna do a drawing, okay? And so we're gonna draw, and all the peppers actually have numbers on them. So like, here's one, so this pepper has the number 6 on it. So if you draw the number 6, you gotta take a bite out of this pepper, and we're gonna see which ones of these are hot, okay? So that we have 8 peppers, and there's 3 of us. So do we wanna go, each one of us just go once?
Yeah.
Sure.
Just go one time and go? Okay.
Yeah.
How are we gonna decide who's gonna go first?
Michelle.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah.
You wanna go first? Because I'll go, I'll guinea pig it.
I'll draw first, yeah.
You wanna go first?
Yeah.
Okay, so draw paper first, and then we'll give you your pepper. Paper, then pepper.
Okay.
Peas and peas.
Peas and peas.
Peas.
All right, what's your number?
8.
Number 8. Okay, that's number 5. I guess I should have pulled these. That's number 2. All right, looking for number 8. That's 6. That's number 1.
I'm hoping a lifetime of
3.
salsa that my dad used to make has.
That's 7. We're getting close. Oh, there's 8.
Oh shit! Okay.
Okay, so okay, I'm colorblind. So what color is
Red.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna just go to your camera there.
How much of this do I like just to hear? Just the just the
Like
tip?
not even halfway. Just get a good bite of it and see how it goes. Do it, Michelle. Do it.
It's spicy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not bad.
And you do spicy food.
I do.
So you do well with peppers.
I do. It's spicy.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's pretty spicy. It's good though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is
There's
it-
a lot of seeds in there, but
Yeah?
it's good. Yeah, it's good. It's spicy.
Yeah. Hey, Vin. Okay, so you're good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Martin says riveting radio.
Well, it should be.
Oh yeah. For the people that are listening.
Oh yeah, for the audio podcast. Well, I'll cut this out for the audio podcast.
Yeah. This is exclusive content.
Yeah, this is it. Yeah, this is for YouTube only. So you're doing okay, Michelle?
Yeah. I mean, it's spicy, but.
Okay.
All right, I got 7.
All right.
I got this guy.
Oh, lucky.
Ooh, what is that? Oh, hold on, Jeff. Give it a good look there on the camera. Oh gosh, what is that thing? It looks like an undergrown poblano to me.
Yeah.
Does it?
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, Jeff, you went all in.
Yeah. Well, that's not spicy at all.
No?
Not if it was
No.
an undergrown poblano. Take
No.
a bite of this. Don't eat it all. You just ate the writing.
That's all right.
It's spicy.
Oh, that is spicy.
Yeah.
I immediately regret this decision.
You okay?
No, it's spicy
You
though.
good?
It's
Oh,
spicy,
geez.
yeah.
Which means that
What do we need? Milk.
if there is any spicy
You
ones,
need some milk.
Milk.
I
Milk.
should have went first. Because if there is any spicy ones, then the chances of it are getting bigger. Okay,
I don't know. I think I got the spiciest one.
I got number 5. That's this one. Ooh. Somebody on Twitter said anything that looks like a small pumpkin are the worst ones.
I don't know. I think that's. What the hell?
Jeez.
You hear that?
God dang it.
Is it hot? Or just
No.
gross?
It just tastes like grass.
It's a freaking overgrown jalapeno.
Oh.
Or an undergrown. Overgrown. I don't know, but it's. No. All right, well, this was anticlimactic.
That red one.
All right.
That red one is hot as shit, bro.
That red one got you?
That's hot as hell.
Yeah? Which one? Do you think this little green, are green ones hot?
No, actually that doesn't look like a jalapeno.
No, you should eat this one.
Come here, Vinny.
I think that green
Vinny,
one
come
is
here.
an unripened Serrano, I think.
Welcome to the show, my son, Vinny.
Vinny,
This
that
is
was-
number 3. Get down here where people can see you on this
I
camera.
think that's what I got.
Eat it. Do it. Get down here. Yeah. Come on, do it. Oh, you ate the whole thing.
Vinny, it's spicy.
Oh.
That one's a spicy one.
Oh, then
Is
he
that
went
spicy?
back in. Is it good?
Spicy, that was good. It was a good pepper. Y'all should keep those going.
Oh, damn. Wow. That's good, though.
Is it good? That's what Michelle said.
Yeah, it is good. It's got good flavor.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow.
Uh-oh. Is it starting to get to
That's
It was delayed on old Jeff.
it's killing me.
Oh, my God.
It's killing
Oh, it's getting worse.
Is it?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Over time.
Oh, wow. It hit you on the front end, but it also hit you on the back end. Yeah, it's spicy.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It's got a lot of flavor, though.
You need some milk?
Nope, but I just hit the outro.
That was a good pepper, though. But it's spicy.
Yeah, it's a good pepper.
Oh, my gosh. All right, Raider Nation, appreciate you joining us for this episode of Raiders Fan Radio, episode number 300 and whatever the heck this is. We love you guys so very, very much. We'll be back here next week, next Wednesday, hopefully.
Dude.
Hopefully talking about a win against the Miami Dolphins or not. But anyways, appreciate everybody hanging in there with us. We love you so very, very much. And Swag Jeff.
Paul thinks Swaggo's having a hot flash.
Swag's over there having menopause. Yeah. Oh my gosh. All right, Swag Jeff. Actually, Michelle.
Send her to Michelle.
I wish you had more of those for me to take home, though, because it was really good.
Oh, we'll have a whole bunch.
There's a little more. There's a little more right here. You take that home.
Really good.
No, we'll have a whole bunch. We'll get the pepper situation.
Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, we're saying goodbye.
Well, I'd like to say we're going to do great on Sunday, but I think you guys already know how I feel. I'm still hoping for a win because I love this fucking team. So there you go.
There you go.
There you go. I didn't hear anything either one of these guys said. But hey, much respect to everyone in the chat. Chuck Raider, Paul, Yoshi, Ron the Mater Raider, Raider Dank Vader, Paul, Martin, Jordan Ford, Alfred Esparza, Hooligan Nation, Martin, Corey Fleck, Tider Raider. Much respect to everyone that's here. Can't thank you guys enough. Thanks for the incredible donations for the One Nation Foundation.
Yes, thank you.
Can't thank you guys enough. Go sign up for Underdog Fantasy so they quit yelling at us. So do your thing right there, Underdog Fantasy. Use the promo code Murf whenever you download that app. Gives you a billion times whatever it is. If you don't know about it, just go back and listen earlier. I told you all about it and all that stuff and where it's for.
Underdog Fantasy.
Blah, blah, blah. Underdog Fantasy, promo code Murf. Do that. So
MURF.
Oh, and it's already over. So I've gone over. What happens in Vegas started in Oakland. We love you guys. Much respect. Let's whip the Dolphins' ass. Bye.
You wearing lipstick?
Dude, I'm dying.
Lamont Texas said Jeff's over there cooking.
Oh, bro, I'm cooked right now. I'm cooked. I need some milk for sure. Oh, good. Yeah. Thank you, Val. Okay.
Love you, Raider Nation. We'll see you next week.
See you. Bye.
You need milk too, Vinny?